Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads, it's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
Within its energy center, the tree had already grown into the size of a tower, its dazzling golden leaf veins flooding the space with light. On top of the thick tree trunk, there was an inexplicable golden growth ring with the appearance of a full moon. A flash of frightening lightning flashed from the sky thunder of the dark domain tree as it began to spread along Zane Martel's veins. In the outside world, Zane Martel was emitting golden lightning from his eyes, mouth, nostrils, ears, and 7 apertures. With a roar, he opened his mouth and swallowed the lightning pillars within a radius of 100 meters, as easy as drinking water.
What kind of monster is this? This is a monster. Stephen is not a human, he is definitely a member of the Demon Clan.
Patrick Sway cried out in alarm. When he saw the scene before him, his scalp went numb.
I should have known long ago why the Dark Wolf Hall would have allowed a human to serve as His Highness. It turns out that he is also a member of the Demon Clan. All the more reason why we can't let him go. Let's kill him together.
It turned out that Patrick Sway had mistaken Zane Martel for a member of the Demon Clan, and rightfully so. Because how could a normal person devour lightning? Zane Martel, enveloped by the lightning, did not have any slight abnormality. Instead, his aura had soared. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a full minute. He actually hadn't turned into ashes, but instead gradually became stronger. The people around them were dumbfounded and did not know what to do for a while.
Divine Disciple, this Stephen is a freak. Our lightning has been devoured by him.
Patrick Sway's expression was frozen in horror. He clenched his teeth and stamped his feet, going all out.
Even if he can swallow it, he must have a limit. I don't believe that he can devour the whole Thunder Spring. Everyone, join forces with me to mobilize the thunder and lightning of the Thunder Spring to kill this demonic man here. Otherwise, he will definitely be our biggest enemy in the sect competition.
As soon as the others heard that the Thunder Spring was going to be mobilized, their faces became much more serious, but they still gritted their teeth and agreed. After all, this kind of monster should never walk out of here alive. Below, the thunder and lightning of the Thunder Spring began to roil, and a huge wave swept over, covering the sky and the earth with a shocking momentum. The exploding thunder instantly drowned the formation and poured into the God Extermination formation. Zane Martel sucked in the power all the same, not letting go of any.
Senior, no. Stephen is too strong.
Their eyes were wide open. At this moment, Zane Martel propped up his limbs. A dazzling golden lightning glow directly broke through the formation and sent the dozen-plus people flying. After extricating himself, Zane was like an ancient thunder god, with streaks of thick lightning bursting out from his body and darting Patrick Sway.
Stephen, what are you trying to do? You dare to attack me here?
Patrick Sway was scared, unconsciously backing up.
That day you kidnapped Alora, and today I'm going to settle the old scores with you.
Zane Martel's voice was not loud, but it was as shocking as the power of heaven.
What did his taking away Alora have to do with Stephen? Could it be that he had been there that day? Impossible. The Dark Wolf Hall hadn't participated in that great battle at all. But why?
All of a sudden, Patrick Sway came to his senses. His pupils contracted and his face darkened. His voice began to tremble unconsciously.
Don't tell me that you are Zane Martel.
He recalled that Zane Martel, who had caused a scene in the peace negotiation hall, also possessed a heaven-defying ability, which was quite similar to what he had experienced today.
It can't be. There was no way for Zane Martel to have sneaked into the Godwill sect without alerting any of us.
You know too much. Go to hell.
Damn it. Stephen, even if we can't bring you down, there are plenty of experts who can tame you in the sect competition.
In the Goodwill sect, there were 38 people gathered in a magnificent palace, all of whom were in the advanced level. The most powerful, terrifying vital energy had unknowingly spread out like an evil beast. Sitting next to this man who seemed to be only 25 years old, others couldn't help but tremble.
He, who's just a member of the Dark Wolf Hall, had the audacity to act so presumptuously in our sect's territory. Indeed, they must have lived quite the idle life these days to have entertained the thought of causing trouble here.
Stephen went too far. He killed 2 divine disciples in broad daylight. You have to uphold justice for them.
Send someone to keep an eye on the city right now. If you detect a movement, report to me immediately. It's the end of the Dark Wolf Hall's peaceful days. It's time to kill the wolves and eat their meat.
Zane Martell was unaware of all of this. After leaving the Thunder Spring, he returned in all his glory to the cave and the water spring to train.
My tree has actually become like this. What kind of changes are there? At least I can be sure that after absorbing the essence of thunder between heaven and earth, the sky thunder of the Dark Domain tree will definitely show changes. But after the commotion this time, I don't know if I can still enter the Thunder Spring next time.
In the following days, Zane Martell spent all of his energy in training and finally reached the middle of the 2nd stage of the advanced level before the competition. On this day, Madame Evelyn was suspended in the air above the Dark Wolf Hall. Below her, there were thousands of disciples.
The sect competition is about to begin. Everyone follow me to the Imperial capital.
Below Madame Evelyn were all of the thousands of disciples who were in the advanced level, without exception. The sect competition would be held in the imperial capital of Eastern Palm, which was where the Goodwill sect was located. That place was the heart of the entire Eastern Palm. It was also the holy land of martial arts where countless powerful warriors would gather. Almost every warrior wanted to lay their eyes on the glory of the capital. Zane Martell had already learned that the competition would last for about a month, during which time all the participating sects would stay in the imperial capital. At that time, it would be the busiest time in the whole state of the Eastern Palm. The tens of thousands of disciples were extremely thrilled at the prospect of boasting their strength in the sect competition.
Everyone come with me. Come on up.
As soon as Madame Evelyn finished speaking, more than 10,000 people below all flew up and stood on the gigantic serpent. Then Madame Evelyn clapped her hands and began to head to the capital. There were a total of 5 experts in the expert level, one of whom was the first elder. She had almost mobilized half of the power of the Dark Wolf Hall. As for the sect leader and the other elders, they stayed in the hall to guard it. The imperial capital was located in the center of Eastern Palm and was separated from Wolf City by thousands of miles, so it was very far away. Even if the serpent beneath their feet had a cultivation of the 3rd stage advanced level and was exceedingly fast, it would still take them at least a few days to get there. 5 days later, a huge serpent appeared in the sky above the capital, and riding on it were none other than the disciples of the Dark Wolf Hall. As they looked down from the sky, the scenery before their eyes stunned every last one of them. Compared to the dark gray style of Wolf City, where the Dark Wolf Hall was located, this place was colorful and very festive. On the wide street, people from various sects congregated from all over the country were walking. The shops on both sides were decorated with lanterns and ribbons, festivity charging the air. One could even hear the melodious singing of the songstress on the highest floor of the tavern. A few elegant, reserved, and graceful women walked on the street. It was evident from their appearance that they were born and bred in the capital. They were the polar opposites of the other foreign warriors. As they let their gazes wander along the wide and clean street, they could see a huge palace in front of them. It had been built with black bricks and gold tiles, emitting a domineering aura. There was no doubt that this place was definitely where the royal family of Eastern Palm resided. On a street next to the royal family, there was a huge mountain-sized gate that sat in the center of the city.
I'm assuming this is the Goodwill sect.
I suppose so. The Goodwill sect has the best location and the support of the imperial family. It explains why it has the most influence among so many sects.
Zane Martell's eyes emitted a glow as he muttered to himself.
Somewhere within it was where Elora was being imprisoned. Elora, wait for me. I'll save you soon.
Due to the fact that there were too many sects participating in the competition, every sect had been arranged by the imperial family, except for the Goodwill sect. This time, the Dark Wolf Hall had been arranged in a remote courtyard, just like the previous times. The courtyard was very large and could easily accommodate tens of thousands of people. Madame Evelyn steered the serpent to land in the yard and instructed everyone.
The sect competition will be held in 5 days, and it will last for a month. During these 5 days, you can move freely.
Many people were ecstatic. They, like Zane Martel, set foot in the imperial capital for the first time, so they wanted to go out on their horizons immediately. Zane Martel did not immediately go on a tour like the others. Instead, he called the Blade Squad into his room and spoke in a serious tone.
I want you to disguise yourselves and find out something for me. A year ago, a woman named Elora was taken to the Godwill sect because of her purple pole spiritual body. She was born in the Five Spirit sect of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance. I want you to help me gather any news about her. No detail is too small. You must report every single thing to me.
Yes, sir.
Then they dispersed and began to rush to every corner of the capital. Kevin White and the others were familiar with the basic tasks such as reconnaissance. It was absolutely no problem to hand it over to them. In the past few days, Zane Martel had discovered that the Blade Squad was indeed the same as Katie had said. They obeyed his every order. As long as it was a word from Zane Martel, regardless of whether it was right or wrong, they would not ask the reason and would directly execute his order.
Larry Shaw, you ready to go? Why don't we go out for a walk?
Coming.
Zane Martel pushed open the door and strolled along the main street of the capital with Katie. Normally, such a scene of a crowd was rare, but now it was the time of the year of the sex competition. The street was already thronged with people, and the traffic was so congested in the busiest place that one could not even move forward. Soon, they arrived on the street. On both sides of the street, there were lively shops selling elixirs, genuine energy artifacts, and even demon pets. Everything that they had seen and had not seen, they could find them there.
Look, Larry Shaw, there's a medicinal pill here.
Katie was very excited. She pulled Zane Martel and ran into one of the shops. The shopkeeper's eyesight was very sharp. He recognized at a glance that Zane Martel and Katie were definitely not ordinary people. He immediately rushed over and said with a cheeky smile,
"Lady, gentlemen, is there anything I can help you with? We are the most comprehensive store in the whole imperial capital. I can assure you that anything you can't find here, you won't find in other places."
Upon hearing this, Zane Martel smiled coldly. What a persuasive pitch, he thought. But the simple-minded Katie actually believed it. Her eyes were shining with starlight as she rattled off the names of several kinds of pills in one breath. Sure enough, the shop carried all of them, and she paid contentedly. Then she asked Zane Martel,
Larry Shaw, aren't you going to buy some pills? There aren't many people in Wolf City who know how to refine pills. It's rare that we're here.
No need. I'm afraid that there might not be any medicinal pills here that I want.
Currently, Zane Martel still had quite a few Celestial Life pills. The rest of them were nothing more than dregs in front of him. But his words made the shopkeeper frown. He was a little unhappy and retorted,
"Ah, I do not like what I hear, sir. Why don't you tell me what you want? Maybe we do have it in our store."
Sure. Do you have a Celestial Life pill?
The shopkeeper was initially heard the harsh words, after which he looked at Zane Martel with some doubt.
"How did you know?" "Not long ago, our shop did receive a Celestial Life pill. It was to be promoted as the shop's treasure. In theory, outsiders shouldn't have known about this." "Are you a friend of that expert?"
Said Zane Martel suspiciously.
Celestial Life pill? Is there really a Celestial Life pill here? Outlandish.
According to what Caleb Pierce and David Sullivan said in the mysterious Citadel that day, there were only a few Celestial Life pills, and only Zane Martel knew how to refine them.
Could it be that a living person had sold the pill? It was even more outlandish to consider that. The only explanation, the pill the shopkeeper was talking about, was a fake one.
Katie blinked her eyes and asked Zane Martel curiously,
Hey, Larry Shaw, what's the Celestial Life pill you mentioned? Something really precious?
Let's go, it's just a fake.
"Sir, please stay. Why would you say that my Celestial Life pill is a fake? If you don't believe me, you can come to the attic with me. You will understand after you see it."
The shopkeeper refused to give up. He made a please gesture and invited them to the room on the second floor. Very quickly, the shopkeeper came over with a precious box. followed by a few martial practitioners at the second stage of the advanced level. He was obviously afraid that the two of them would commit a robbery at the spur of the moment.
Sir, if you really have an eye for the goods, you'll know at a glance whether it's real or not.
He opened the box to reveal a colorful pill, sealed in a piece of transparent glazed jade. The size of this pill was exactly the same as the celestial life pills that Zane Martel had refined. If there was a difference, it was that the impurities inside the pill didn't seem to have been completely clear. Therefore, the possibility that this particular pill had been refined by Zane Martel had been ruled out.
It's actually a genuine artifact.
Immediately, Zane Martel stood up, cupped his hands together, and asked the shopkeeper,
Could you tell me who gave you this pill?
It is not a problem telling the both of you. In any case, this is no longer a secret. The both of you should head to the Alchemist Association. You'll find the answer there.
The Alchemist Association?
Zane Martel muttered to himself and frowned. In this world, there were a few professions at the top of the totem pole that even peerless experts did not dare to offend.
I didn't expect that there would actually be the Alchemist Association here. Come on, Katie, let's check it out.
Okay.
The Alchemist Association was located in the south of the middle of the capital, a little far away from where the two of them were currently at. In this special period, in order to ensure the safety of the capital, it was forbidden to walk on air. Therefore, the two rented a beast carriage and headed to the Alchemist Association. Zane Martel observed the crowd. No sooner had they arrived there than they found that there was a sea of people outside the gate. Many people had flocked here just to catch a glimpse of the magnificent sight, clamoring to enter.
Please let me in and meet Master Vade. I am willing to pay any price.
They desperately wanted to rush in, but were stopped by the guards at the door. Zane Martel walked over, patted a man beside him, and asked,
My man, who exactly is the Master Vade they're talking about? Why is everyone looking for him?
The other party replied with a surprised look.
Don't you know? Master Vade is the alchemy master of the Alchemist Association. He can refine all the pills in the world. Master Vade only showed up during the sect competition. We have been waiting for him for a long time.
When the shopkeeper said that I'd find the answer at the association, was he talking about Master Vade?
Suddenly, the door of the association was opened, and a teenager who looked like a young attendant came out and said to everyone in a tender voice,
Everyone, please come in. All of your wishes can be satisfied by Master Vade.
Young attendant made a please gesture and allowed the people at the door to enter, after which they scrambled to squeeze their way in. Zane, Martel, and Katie followed suit when they saw this. Soon these people were arranged to wait in the hall. Every once in a while, the attendant would ask one or two people to go to the next room. The Master Vade that they were talking about was waiting for them in that small room.
Lavelle!
I'm here, thank you.
A middle-aged man named Lavelle happily walked into the small room and closed the door. As they were too far away, and there seemed to be a formation supporting them, Zane Martel was unable to hear what was being said inside.
Larry Shaw, is this celestial life pill something truly invaluable?
Of course it is. I'm just curious as to what kind of person in this world would be able to refine one.
Time passed, 1 minute at a time. The young attendant brought the people in one by one. Finally, an hour later, it was Zane Martel's and Katie's turn.
Larry Shaw, Katie, please come with me.
Zane Martel nodded. He led Katie into the small room and sat down. In the room was a man over 70 years old. He may be old, but his eyes were as black as the night and as bright as the stars. His sharp eyes were like glinting blades, exuding a threatening aura. He was roughly at the second stage of the advanced level. Could he be Master Vade? Zane Martel was a bit surprised.
May I ask if you are the alchemy master they have been dying to meet, Master Vade?
Yes, I am.
Master Vade gave a smile and answered Zane Martel before asking a question of his own.
I wonder what kind of medicinal pills you two want this time around. As long as I'm able to do it, I will help you refine it.
Celestial life pill.
All of a sudden, the smile on Master Vade's face slightly stiffened. Obviously, he was very surprised by Zane Martel's words.
Celestial life pill is a heaven-defying pill. How would I possess the knowledge to refine such a pill? You're a strange one, young man.
Master Vade shook his head gently, feigned composure, and mocked himself. Then he picked up the tea in his hand and took a sip.
If you don't know how to refine it, then please explain what's going on with this.
The pill that Zane Martel had taken out was of course the Celestial Life Pill, which had not been refined by the other party, but by himself. Master Vade's expression changed slightly as he picked up the pill and carefully examined it. His expression became even more serious. He quickly stood up and cupped his hands together.
It turns out that you are the real alchemist. How ill-mannered I have been.
What alchemist? Do you think this pill was refined by me? I bought it from a shop with a large sum of money.
Honorable sir, please don't lie to me. I am very clear about the quality of the pill that I refined. With the quality of the pill in your hand, how could it have come from me? If I'm not wrong, you must be the expert who David Sullivan once referred to.